This year brought a new role for us at the Advocates. Plaintiff. When the government started targeting Minnesota and upending long-standing policies at the immigration court, we didn't just defend our individual clients. We fought back. And these pro bono champions stood with us in court, in community, and in defense of the rule of law. When ICE started targeting the 5,600 lawfully admitted refugees in Minnesota and conducting warrantless arrests, unlawful detentions, and interrogations without access to counsel, Berger Montague, the Center for Human Rights and Constitutional Law, and International Refugee Assistance Project represented us in a class action lawsuit to protect refugees in Minnesota who had been or were at risk of being detained. Their advocacy stopped ICE in its tracks, and the Minnesota refugees illegally detained in this operation were released. And that wasn't the only attack. When ICE was holding people at the Whipple Federal Building in overcrowded conditions and denying or obstructing their access to counsel before whisking them out of the state, sometimes in the dead of night, Democracy Forward and Fredrikson represented us in a class action lawsuit to stop these practices that violated basic human rights, the U.S. Constitution, and federal law. The judge agreed with us that the government could not continue to obstruct such a fundamental right. She also imposed a 72-hour waiting period before people could be transferred to out-of-state detention centers, providing the advocates and our allies crucial time to intervene. Meanwhile, inside the Fort Snelling Immigration Court, the court itself became the problem. When the court closed its doors to the public and denied our court observers full access to the same public hearings they had been monitoring for nearly a decade, Stinson represented us in a lawsuit to compel the government to follow its own rules, protect the public's right to observe government proceedings, and ensure transparency in the administration of justice. We've since been joined in our lawsuit by individuals nationwide fighting against these same restrictions in their own immigration courts. And lastly, when the immigration court targeted our Somali neighbors with a new policy that fast-tracked their immigration proceedings with the intent to deny them the ability to prepare their cases or obtain legal representation, Democracy Forward represented us in a lawsuit to restore standard procedure and protect due process rights, because no one should lose their case simply because the government changed the rules overnight. 2026 has been an unprecedented and wild year. However, when our community comes together, we meet the moment. And this year, these firms and organizations helped Minnesota and the nation meet one of the hardest moments we've ever faced. They have demonstrated the true meaning of pro bono publico, legal representation for the public good. Thank you, Berger Montague, the Center for Human Rights and Constitutional Law, Democracy Forward, Fredrikson, the International Refugee Assistance Project, and Stinson.